What's up, everyone? Welcome to Indy Comics. We're going to take a look at the pickups we had from last week's new comic book day, which was October 15th, let you know what we thought about them. So, first up is a new series from Mad Cave Studios called Terrorbytes. So, this was issue number one. And this series really tackles how dependent humankind has become on technology and what that means for us as a society. In this first issue specifically, we were looking at a device that shows the user their last moments of life. And you really get an inside look at what a device like that means when it's coming to development and how far people are willing to go to make that a reality. I think as far as a first issue in an indie comic series, this did a really, really great job. There's an interesting twist on the story and how you learn about this specific device. It really kept my attention. And by the end of the episode, we now have, or the end of the issue rather, we now have a reason to kind of read that next issue, which I think is really a huge sticking point for any first issue of a new series and definitely from an indie comic. I would say if you are a fan of sci fi, post apocalyptic type stories where you're looking at a civilization and what became of them, then this is one that you definitely need to pick up. Highly recommend that one. The next series that we looked at was Ghost Pepper, and this was issue number 4. This comes to us from Image Comics. So, this is a really fun, bombastic, anime style story that follows a main character, or multiple main characters rather, that have food trucks where they meet up with a hero potentially that maybe saved the world at one time. And it's really just a silly, action packed comic. And I think if you like that sort of thing, you're really going to enjoy this. As far as this issue is concerned, um, I'm liking it, but it's not something that I'm super excited to pick up every week. To be honest, I'll probably give it another one or two issues before I decide whether or not I want to keep going with this one. But the art style is really cool, especially if you like that anime approach. And if you're just looking for a fun adventure, a little bit of humor, just some silliness, then I think you would really enjoy this one. All right, next up we have The War issue 3 from Boom Studios. This is a series that covers the idea of nuclear attack, nuclear holocaust. You're taking a look at a friend group who, is living their lives normally before a nuclear attack, and then kind of looking at what happens during the attack and immediately after, and then a little bit further than that. Um, it definitely shows you just how bizarre things can get mentally for people in this type of situation and how quickly that can happen. And this is one of the things that I noticed not only in this issue, but in other issues in this series was that the pacing seemed a little off to me. But I think that's probably by design. You know, if you were in this situation, things would be erratic and crazy. And so this is one that I want to go back and read the 3 issues carefully, especially because of who was involved with the writing of this. You have Garth Ennis, who was someone that was behind Preacher. If you're familiar with that one, it's amazing. It's crazy, but it's amazing. And so I think I need to go back and give this one another shot, and I'll probably like it a little bit more. But again, if you are a fan of, I don't know, nuclear war type of stories and what happens during that and just the craziness that ensues from humans and their mentality during it, definitely check this one out. I would say it's more of a mature title for sure, though. And then lastly, I did pick up Battle Beast number 6, which is from Image Comics. This one is in the Invincible universe, comes from Robert Kirkman. This is kind of one of the big books, especially of this time of the year, probably the year as a whole. This issue was the end of the first story arc, as I understand it. They're going to be back in March 2026. So I have to admit, I'm someone who hasn't read any of Invincible. I haven't even watched the Amazon show. And so I was going into this one blind. My son loves Invincible. It's one of his favorite things ever. And so I had to check it out. I liked this series a lot. I kind of realized once I started reading it that this was just going to be a super fun, fight style story. There's a lot of blood and violence and guts and things like that. And so if you take it at face value, which is just a lot of intense action, and really don't look too much beyond that, I think you're really going to enjoy it. Specifically with this issue, I thought it was great. They wrapped up the story arc in a nice fashion. It didn't seem too slow, didn't seem too fast. Had a couple issues where it was a tiny bit of filler, but it didn't feel bad about it. It was still fun to read. And then at the end of this issue, we get a really, really cool um, sneak peek at what's to come, and I believe some familiar faces from the Invincible universe. So that's what we picked up last week on October 15th. Please, if you like this type of content, like and subscribe. This is our first video. We're just trying this out. We also have a TikTok channel, which I have some information about in the description below. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great one.